first thing? Are you thinking about a bill that's late? You know, all that stuff matters. So step one, I have a link here. You guys are going to go to this link. You're going to answer about maybe 40 questions, honestly, about where you are, how you respond to things. And this is just checking your chakras, right? So you have,
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
okay.
Come on, y'all. We on music. Come on.
Okay, great. So you have 7 chakras, right? And I'm gonna like send more information, but for the 7, you have your crown chakra, you have your third eye chakra, you have your throat chakra, you have your heart chakra, you also have your solar plexus and your sacral chakra and your root chakra. Now, journaling is gonna be very important throughout this whole entire process. Journaling is where you're gonna actually get to know the real you, right? And you're actually gonna be able to test your growth because I did this alone. I did this in hermit mode. But if you're in hermit mode or if you're around a bunch of people, journaling is going to help you like kind of redirect your paradigm, shift that way of thinking, and just kind of like attract the things that you want, right? And allow for you to see, okay, so I didn't have confidence last month, but the more that I keep going and going and going and writing and writing and writing, I have it this month. So that's going to be really good for you, especially if you're not the kind of person that can call out your flaws or call out your acknowledgments or good deeds or just the good pure stuff about yourself, because sometimes that's hard for people to do. I was one of those people. um After that, step 2, you guys are going to run you a sacred bath, right? In this sacred bath, you're going to bring in earth elements. Earth elements is going to be water, hot water, a candle to represent what color chakra that you want to work on based on that test result that you got. And then you're going to get you a color incense of that same chakra that you want to work on. Get yourself some Epsom salt or sea salt or pink Himalayan salt. And then you're going to get some limes. You're going to cut up maybe about 3, 4 limes. Make sure that water is hot because the limes, the salt, all those earth elements, they actually allow for you to recharge your energy after an interaction like this. Um, and then get yourself a crystal. I use clear crystals. I use rose quartz crystals because that's just my thing. I haven't added anything extra. I just kind of stick to one thing and see how it feels and then move on to the next thing. After that, essential oils. I like to use lavender for soothing mechanisms to kind of like soothe myself, feel like royalty, just feel like just kind of feel the sensual side of being connected with myself and kind of disconnect from the computers and the world and emails and all that stuff.
All right, so Tiff, just real quick, let's go down. Let's run through the list of the chakras. You speak on it from the energy side. I'm gonna speak on it from the nutritional side. Just giving out there's real small pointers on foods that match the chakras. I mean, because I know if Nia was here, she'd definitely have this available, so we can run through chakras right quick, healing energy and etc.
Okay. So we can go ahead on and start with the crown chakra. Or would you like to start with the root chakra? Which one do you feel would be most important?
I mean, it's on you. What you think? Root up?
I think root up because the mind is most important.
Yep. Come on.
Okay, so for the crown chakra, guys, for me, crown chakra, let me go back to, I started a PDF and I couldn't find it. I actually was going to go through a PDF with you guys, but it's not open in my Adobe right now. I can't even figure out where it's at. Okay, so for the crown chakra, it's actually going to be the top of your head, guys, and it's more of like I'm trying to think of the correct affirmation, but I'm not going to go that deep into it. But for
What
the
you
crown
saying? You
chakra,
saying crown chakra?
because there are
Okay.
certain affirmations and
Clarity. Purity, divinity. That's what you're getting from your purple, and then like foods that will aid the crown chakra working through your body will probably be pure, some purified water, getting fresh air, sunlight. Um,
mainly it's like okay, so I want to kind of put meditation into it, right? Because with the crown chakra,
mhm.
you definitely want to meditate. You definitely want to allow for that air to kind of get in your mind to actually like have that insight about things. You want to be able to observe yourself. You actually want to be able to really observe things around you. And that's where you get like that divine source within, right? Or downloads, as we will say. Say, for instance, you're at a party, right? And you get like this feeling, hey, you need to leave. You don't know where you get that feeling from, but the feeling came and you know that you need to go. 5 minutes later, something happened. That's where that, that I know that intuition comes from, or in a sense of just awareness. So you definitely want to be in alignment with yourself. You definitely want to be in alignment. What about earthling or grounding? So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that actually comes in effect with your crown chakra. You definitely want to have that sunlight. You definitely want to sun gaze. You definitely want to make sure whatever you're feeding yourself, like that, like gold water. I know that's one thing. I also know, like, I have something as well that I just got off Amazon here, and it's kind of the same thing, but it gives you energy, right? It gives you energy and boost up your mental focus and so on and so forth. So for your mind,
Is it like a nootropic, Tiff?
yeah, it's similar to gold water, honestly. Um, but to be honest with you, like, you just, how can I put this? You want to ask yourself questions, right? Like, you want to set the intentions. So let's just say, for instance, I want to set the intentions that I'll wake up at 3:33 a.m. So if you set that intention that you're going to wake up at 3:33 a.m., now you're aligning your mind, you're controlling your mind, you're giving your mind a position in a sense, right? You're telling your mind, look, I'm controlling you. You're waking up at 3:33 a.m., and you're kind of like giving yourself that structure to give yourself that mind. What is in the blue bottle? To give yourself like that willpower. I'm trying to say it to where it makes sense, because it can be kind of like odd, but it's like being a fly on the wall when it comes to your crown chakra. I definitely say that, because you definitely want to like be in alignment with your root chakra, because you can't just have your crown chakra, then your root chakra is not in alignment. So everything else is not in alignment. So you definitely want to, I honestly think now when we say it, it's best to start from the root chakra. Now that we go deeper into it, it's best to start with the root chakra,
We can
because
get to the root.
you just can't start at the crown. You can't. Now that I'm going in depth to it, that's why it's not flowing right.
You know what I mean? That's how we tend to think from down upwards. You know what I mean? Because even if y'all listen to my whole theory of a better belly, a better brain, a better body, you know what I mean? It kind of skips. But sometimes, though, Tiff, it might have to be a better mind, because I can try to teach you about how to fix your gut microbiota, but you're not in that mind frame. Like when we spoke about in Secret Society yesterday, it's like not everybody wants to come do this. Not everybody even cares about what Sebastian and them are even doing. Like, they got some fucking course over there. They talking about health and wellness. Oh, well, I'm healthy enough. You know what I mean? Like, I feel healthy enough. You know what I mean? I don't need to go learn the information. So everything is not for everybody. Comes in. That's a mind frame. You know what I mean? And then
That is a mind frame. I think that you definitely have to, like, you got to go through something to get there.
that too.
At least
That too.
want,
You
like, you
gotta
have to
go through
want it
something.
bad enough, or you got to go through something that you want it bad enough. And I just went through that one thing. So we're going to start with the root. And with the root, we're going to go into like how you can actually be grounded. I think being grounded is most important. As you guys saw the riot happen, you saw all these other things that came about. It was because we were not grounded. We were not connected with Mother Earth. We were not connected with ourselves. We were not connected with our brother and sisters, So when you go outside, you want to actually start allowing your feet to be in the grass. You want to, as soon as you walk outside, you want to take those shoes off and you want to let your feet be in the grass. You want to go head on, and you just want to allow yourself to take out those headphones. Put your phone somewhere else and trust that where you are is where you're meant to be. Let the air, let the trees, like, let whatever, the birds or whatever is around you, just let it be. Breathe in that good energy and just kind of like sit into that like grass and so on and so forth, and start journaling, start writing to feel even more connected.
Man. And then
You
on
want,
my end, family, like when we speaking on grounding and getting earthly here with those chakras, y'all, we also want to know on the science of the human body that grounding neutralizes free radicals. Free radicals are generated through inflammation, infection, cell damage, trauma, stress, and our toxic environments. We spoke on toxic environments before. My boy asked me, grounding is going to help you improve your sleep, your pain management, and your stress management. And then it's also going to improve your inflammation and immunity. It does so much when you're
So
one
much.
with the planet. So
It does so much. It helps you make better decisions. It
Can y'all
makes
say
you
that
know,
again? Sorry, I just heard something is gonna make you sleep better. It kind of cut out for a second.
okay.
okay, it's going to be grounding. Z,
Okay.
grounding, getting your bare feet, you know what I mean, into, preferably some wilderness. If there's some kind of woods around your area. I know, like out here in Hercules, I go to the woods and I'll go on a hike, find some nice good patchy part of grass, you know what I mean, and just let my natural human feet walk on that grass and dirt. That's grounding. You know what I mean? It's gonna, like I say, it's gonna help improve sleep, pain management, and stress. And then it's gonna help you remove those free radicals in your body.
Yeah. And I think that it's most important to make your own affirmations. And I also think like I was kind of pulled back from really going in depth with this information with you guys because with chakras, it can be an introduction and it
Yep.
can be a whole lifestyle, right? And then I was kind of like, do I want to give this information if people are not interested in it being a lifestyle? Because when it goes into making your affirmations, you want to make these affirmations based on the region that you come from. I'm going to say that again because there are a lot of spiritual people out here. You want to do everything based on the region that you come from. So you want to ask yourself those questions that you would love to ask someone else, right? Whatever question that you may think of, how do I get grounded? Ask yourself how you get grounded and go sit somewhere and then let yourself answer that question, right? And then you go set the intention. Self, I want to get grounded. I don't know what to do, but I want you to guide me. So I'm gonna sit right here until you guide me. And that's how I do a lot of things actually. And by doing that, you'll just start walking up. You'll just start like walking away, just naturally doing things. So the root, I am grounded. I am resting comfortably in the position that I sit in. I am walking out of the negative energy that I was just surrounded by, So you want to speak that power, your own words, not my words, because you ain't felt what I felt. I ain't felt what you felt. So you have to make that yourself. Definitely.
Human manually,
Yeah.
knowing, you know what I mean. And then we want to intake. We want to be able to intake our root vegetables, proteins, red fruits, and nuts to further boost our root chakra via nutrition.
And be aware of the overbalance because you can be rooted and you can be a bullhead, right? So you want to make sure that there is balance. You can wear red shirts, you can have red in your room, but you definitely want to make sure that you bring some balance into that because too much of one thing is not good. It's really not good. So be mindful of those things. Now for the sacral chakra, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, this is one of my favorite chakras. Honestly, in the beginning, the third eye chakra was my favorite, but now it's the sacral chakra because I understand it. I struggled with it. I've struggled with it. I've struggled with it, but I understand it now. I feel it's more of the creativity, right? It's the sexual side of yourself. It's the sensual side of yourself. It's if you are a woman, it is the divine feminine side of yourself. If you are a man, it's divine masculine sense of yourself. I don't want to speak about the low vibrational parts of it. We're only going to speak about the high vibrational parts of it. But if you want to activate, this sacral side of you, this piece of you, you definitely want to start getting creative. If you're healing and you need to go through like shadow work, get into like some type of expression. Find some sort of expression to where you can express what you're feeling with. That color is actually orange. So it's all about creativity. It's all about you. It's all about harnessing your sexuality. It's all about knowing that, you guys, you can actually how can I put this? You guys can actually control your semen when you're having whatever you're doing with someone else. So a lot of people don't know that, right? So you guys have to actually like how can I put this, like with energy, when it comes into like the tantric side of it, you know, when it comes into like drawing, when it comes into singing, when it comes into arts, when it comes into dance, like this is where you get that energy moving. This is where you want that energy to move. Like you don't want it to stay stuck. You want to keep that side of you clean. And I feel like everything that, you know, Spin is about to tell you to eat as far as this sacral chakra, it can either make you or break you, literally.
And we'll just go over real quick, y'all. The color is orange. So we're going to think of, when we're thinking of creativity, flowing, sensuality, it's going to be, you know, carrots, pumpkins, oranges, mangoes. Just like she said, we're gonna go by the color when it comes to this. Whether it's your t-shirt, whether it's your room. You guys know I have like I'm in control of my lights in my house. Yeah, I got the hue lights available. So, you know what I mean, I can make it anywhere I want it to be. You know what I mean, I can set the tone in the house. If I feel like I have no creativity, I'm gonna get on some shrooms, you know, and some lion's mane at the same time. Working my working my neurotransmission and cut this place up orange.
Okay, so now we're
And you
gonna
know, I mean, we like that one. That's our gut chakra.
uh-huh. So you definitely want to make sure for the women that you're steaming,
Put that phone down while you're eating that.
that you're taking care of
No,
your
same
woman,
time.
your sacral space and so on and so forth, because women, that's where we actually have a second brain. You know, that's where our intuition is stored, you know, and that's just where we want to make sure that we can keep reproducing. So yeah, carrots, mangoes is really, really good.
Pumpkin. I mean,
Pumpkin
we thinking of
actually one of
thinking
the
of.
best things. Be careful with pumpkins.
Mm-hmm.
Too much of that.
Yeah, not too much. You know what I mean? Just on. Yeah, you guys got it. Carrots, pumpkins, orange, mangoes. You know.
Yes, I think sweet potatoes is actually good
Sweet
too.
potatoes. Yep.
I eat a lot of
Think of
those.
your colors, y'all. I just got a few overhead, just so y'all can think of y'all colors.
Okay. So now we have the solar chakra. I'm sorry. I just kind of went blank mentally.
It's
Okay.
all good. Get it back. Take a breath.
You know, Spin, this is my first time.
Yeah, y'all. I had forced her into it. We had a good talk. We was having a talk. I'm like, man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tell the people your beliefs. You know what I mean? So she got some. I believe she got good beliefs. You know.
Let
Yep.
me
So
go back to my
y'all. We going to yellow, Tiff.
I can't. Yeah, I know. I have to go back to my. I can't open up my PDF, and I did everything like just off the limb from my own experience, and I can't open that up. So to be sure I'm giving you guys the accurate information, yes, I'm about to open up this book.
Yeah, definitely.
Giving y'all the right thing.
That's when it comes. That's when it comes to, you know what I mean, lecturing and teaching.
Yeah.
Get this information together, because we know. I'm saying I'll kick off a little bit when we come to the solar plexus chakra, y'all. You know what I mean? It's your power. It's your energy. I mean, how fiery you are, like me. I believe that. You know, my root. You know what I mean? My sacral and my solar plexus. I think all my chakras are pretty much in line, especially how I
Yeah.
eat, energy I get in, and the energy that I do get off. You know what I mean? So before Tiff get into it, I'll just let go. I'll let the foods fly real quick. A couple foods when it comes to solar plexus. We're talking yellow fruits, y'all. We're talking oats, squash, ginger, legume. You know, lemon. You know, what I mean, you guys think of your colors and put that food into play. Pineapple. You know, what I mean, just to open up the mind a little bit more. You know, what I mean, energetic, energy producing foods. Yep. Kamisha, I think you on your shit, huh?
Yeah, everybody's pretty much into chakras, which is a really good thing. So it won't be like a new scare to most people. So
Yeah, definitely pretty open.
this is funny because you know what? I was like, you know what? You probably gonna mess up tomorrow. And I was like, I ain't gonna mess up. I'm not gonna mess up.
And words, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So speaking on that, you know what I mean, you already know, Tiff, speaking those words to yourself.
And
Anybody that's been, you
it's
know
so
what I
funny.
mean, to my affirmation classes, I tell y'all the beliefs I give myself. You know what I mean? I'd be like, Spence, you the one. You know what I mean? You the one that's gonna change the culture in this lane.
Yeah.
You the
It's
one that's gonna teach them, you know what I mean, about the gut microbiota. Spence, this you, Sebastian. I look myself in the mirror and say, I get to change a life. I get to change at least one life, one mind every day. You know what I mean? I get to change the eating habits of one individual every day. That's my job. That's my duty. That's my service while I'm here. I was, you know what I mean? I was an ex, you know what I mean? Like I'm like an ex-bozo. I really call myself, you know what I mean? Like a poverty soldier, you know what I mean? Playing gang banging and shit. Like, come on, that shit is all ass, you know what I mean? Piss poor diet, you know what I mean? Smoking, drinking, high cortisol, high stress, etc.
and you
What's
know
up with this, Rhea?
you know what? What's so funny about the fact that I just kind of tripped up on the solar plexus? It's right now when I'm living in this current moment. So the solar plexus, I have kind of a bit of an experience for you guys, and spin this what we talked about actually. So this one is very near and dear to me, and the reason why chakras is most important is because I have a conscious scale that I want to send out to you guys as well, just so you guys can view. Let me pull it up so you guys can view on the conscious scale the energy chart, conscious energy, and for the
Kamisha got a download for you too, right there in the
somebody have one.
in the comments. Yeah.
Oh, that is so great. That's so
Yeah, just
great.
put that right there. Right there. Grab me a bag. Grab me a garbage bag, please. Right there on top of that box.
Okay.
Give me a garbage bag.
So you guys, it's most important because with this chart of energy and frequency, which is most important, because you guys can actually see the how you're feeling. And hold on, can I show everybody this on the screen? Can I share my screen? Hey Spin, can you make me the host?
I actually can't do that no more because every time I make y'all the host, I lose my whole
Oh, okay.
recording. So is Mercedes even in here? Because Mercedes taught me how to do this before.
Oh, wait. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm sorry, y'all. But basically on the chart, like when you're living in guilt, and guilt is something, you know, that can kind of trip you up. I made a decision that impacted my whole entire life. It impacted my life to the point where I lived in autopilot for 2 years and I was living in guilt and shame because of the choice that I made, right? And this is most important because my energy was gone. A lot of people was able to come into my life and just zap me of my energy. A lot of people was able to come into my life and mentally manipulate me, control me, take from me, you know, do so much from me because I'm on autopilot. I'm somewhere else. I'm not checking myself. I'm not trying to raise my energy. I'm not making sure that my energy is good. I'm not trying to even care about my willpower, my desire to do anything. I'm stuck just kind of like beating myself up for real, living in shame. And that's one of the worst things that you can do because little do you know, you're secretly killing yourself. You're secretly causing diseases for yourself. And when you look onto the energy chart, like you'll actually have like where it shows fear, it shows guilt, it shows shame, it shows peace, it shows enlightenment, and so on and so forth. So it actually allows for you to see what vibration that you're actually living in just by, you know, feeling that feeling. So it lets you know like, hey, I'm feeling sad. Let me snap out of that real quick because my vibration is going down. I don't want that to go down because if you're manifesting things, and it can be like in the beginning when I learned about manifesting, I was like, I want to manifest money. No, I wanted to manifest healing, right? Like I was like, let me be real. First and foremost, let me be real because if I'm going to come to God and be humble, I need to be real. I want to heal. Like I want to understand why I have to heal in this way. I want to understand why I chose to live in shame. And then when you go in depth about it and you start working with them chakras and you start allowing yourself to blossom and bloom and just be who you really are, who you've already been, the heart chakra would just make everything easier. Now, the heart chakra, one of the most powerful chakras that you guys have, and one of the hardest chakras to open.
What do you want?
Now, for the heart chakra, I like to believe because I kind of sing sometimes. I've been working on my voice, so I like to believe that that's where my soul lives. And I say that because like certain that I hit, I can literally feel
Okay,
my
come
heart
on, yeah, let's
vibrating.
go.
Like,
Let's go so she
feel
can
it.
finish sleeping.
So that's why I say that like the heart is where your compassion is stored. It's where your love is stored. You can actually clean your heart. You can cleanse your heart. I like to get a rose quartz crystal, and I like to get Florida water. And I like to pick out my crystal handmade. I never get my crystals online, but I like to pick my crystal out. I like to get some Florida water. I like to cleanse it in the sun, you know, and I like to set the intentions. Like, this crystal is where I'm going to place my energy, you know, and with my energy, I'm going to activate and open up my heart chakra. So I'm setting the intentions for all the energy that I put into this crystal, that when I meditate, it activates that. So you're going to meditate and actually just do it here, breathe in, breathe out, and start opening up that heart chakra. It may feel a little tense. It may feel like it hurts a little bit, but that's just the healing phase of that. To be honest with you, you'll be okay. You should be okay. You know, if you have any like anything as far as like medical or anything of that sort, I do suggest that you speak to someone before you meditate with crystals. Where do I get my crystals? Okay, so I'm deeply spiritual, and I like to discern people before I send before I do an energy exchange with them, if that makes sense, because energy is currency, and I don't give my money to people that I don't really like spiritually. Um, so I go to someone that I had a conversation with. Her, call her mama. She's in Third Ward, Texas, if you guys are in Houston. And I go to someone that I can sit down and look in their eyes and talk to them. Because when you want to do something like that, you don't want to just be willy-nilly, oh my God. Like, no, you want to stay to yourself, and you want to pray. You want to meditate, and you want to let your higher self and God be your best friend. You don't want to let anyone else be your best friend, especially in times like this, because when you're new into something like this, you're not really aware. And sometimes most people's family do not pass along the things that we did before all this came about. So I would definitely suggest that you find your region and you see what your region did. The name of the place is called Our Little, hold on, let me make sure. Let me make sure. The name of the place is called Our Little Red House. Our One Little Red House. Our One Little Red House in Houston. So for the heart chakra, you definitely want to allow yourself to feel love. Women, I suggest that you guys practice the art of seduction. I really do suggest that you guys start stretching. You guys start feeling more sexier. What I did was I make my own DIY exfoliant little things. So I use brown sugar. I use cane sugar, and then I will use essential oil, lime, honey, and then I would just like sing, right? I'll mix it up and I'll sing. I'll make it feel good. Like I'm going to put this onto my body, and all that information, like whatever I thought of myself, is not going to be there no more. I am confident. I am strong. You know, you got to start doing those things for you so you can really start aligning your chakras and start loving yourself. Like, if you don't love yourself, like, that's how you start the introduction to like forgiving yourself. If you guys are like secretly going through something and you know you got to forgive yourself, that's how you start that introduction, by self-love and loving yourself. And after that, we got heart. You got to go into the foods, right?
Yeah. We just going, real quick. We just taking a real quick glance, and we know that our heart chakra is the color green. So when we're thinking about compassion, love, and joyfulness, we're thinking green vegetables. We're thinking leafy greens, avocados, pears, kiwis. We're thinking green, y'all. We're thinking green when healing the heart chakra.
Okay, and also the throat chakra. Man, that throat chakra for me was closed. I'm a Taurus. I'm a Gemini mind in the Pisces room. So when I express myself, right, I had to find a way to express myself because I didn't want to disrespect anyone. I didn't want to be rude to anyone because I'm extremely straightforward to the point where I'm too straightforward to the point where I don't want you to like miss up. I don't want you to get confused about what I said or how I feel. That's how straightforward I am. So I always had my throat chakra locked, like I'm the baby in the family, you know, and I'm just timid, you know, so I never spoke up for myself. I never said what I didn't like. I didn't set those boundaries. I didn't tell a person that, no, you can't do that to me no more, you know, so because I did not do those things, my throat chakra was locked to the point where when I was in situations where I needed to stand up for myself, I couldn't even find myself. I didn't even know what was going on. So with the throat chakra, you got to start speaking your truth. You got to start telling your truth. You got to live in integrity. The moment that you live in integrity, you're not going to have those problems no more. The moment that you say how you feel and you speak your mind, you're not going to have those problems anymore. And it's going to be more, it's going to be helpful for you when you connect that with that sacral chakra, when you connect that with that root chakra, when you connect that with all of your other chakras, because now you're creative enough to voice yourself in a way that somebody told you that you probably couldn't do, because you couldn't pass the reading scale of what other people said that we have to read on. So set those intentions, whatever you want for yourself, you can definitely grab it. You
And
just have to grab it.
Sierra, when you say there's a shortage of avocados, tap in with Nia. Tap in with Nia so you can figure out what's going on in that world. I mean, I know she's hella on top of that. I mean, and y'all make sure y'all reach out to her before. I think she's like going on a spirit retreat herself. So
Really?
we gotta get ready for that. I mean, you could try to reach out.
It was nice.
And Niece, how do you find out what you are? Niece, if you could just real quick come off of mute and explain what you mean, how do you find out what you are?
Come ask me your questions and I can help you out.
Niece, you want here?
I think she's talking about the birth.
That's why I was talking about the birth chart, because I thought there may be people in here that don't even know where to start. Like, they may know they're Aquarius, but after that it's like blank. So I was just asking that question, hoping to, promote her to explain on that.
Okay, not a problem. I'm glad you asked me that question, because let me put my computer on the charger real quick. I'm glad you asked me that question. Now, to locate your birth chart, first things first, when you locate in your birth chart, you're locating everything about yourself, right? You're going to see your houses, your aspects, you're going to find out that you're actually every last sign. And then you're going to also understand how to maneuver and activate those signs within, right? So you want to go to astrocafe.com. Yeah, there we go. She got it already.
I told you Kamisha be on that.
Yeah, she got it already. Do not share your birth chart with anybody. Do not share your birth chart with anybody. If anybody come to you and say that spirit sent them to you, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. So your birth chart is something that should be protected, because this is ways that people can control you, manipulate you, and really get over on you. If they learn how you think, if they learn how you move, if they learn what you need to do in order to get to that next level, like I'm a Pluto in Scorpio. So that just essentially means with that Pluto in Scorpio, I have to kill certain things about my ego. I have to kill certain habits. I have to kill certain ways of thinking, talking, doing. I got to kill a lot of things in order to transform and elevate. So when you get deeper into your chart, you'll definitely see. Yes, use your the exact date and time of your date of birth, where you're from, name. Is self-explanatory. Do not share with no one. You can share the conversation that you're doing this, but still be observant. And honestly, if you don't know who to trust, look them in their eyes. Look them in their eyes. And that's the only way you'll find out if you can trust this person with this information, because that's very sacred information, to be honest with you. If you don't know the time. Yeah, they still give you. I don't know if it'll be exact though, but because I never did that before, but I believe they still do give it to you. So after the third chakra, we have the third eye chakra. That was one of my obsessions, because I wanted to just kind of see what that meant. I wanted to see, like, exactly just what that meant for real. Yeah.
And Tiff, so when we was talking about that throat chakra, communication, synchronization, truthfulness, like she said, speak your truthfulness, y'all. When we look towards our fruit juices, figs, sea plants, plums and melons. When we come to throat chakra, hydration definitely
helps. I voice recorded my whole entire journey of healing. And I did that because one, I wanted a reason to not go back, right? Because you want to hear yourself like after all of that and what happened and why you chose to leave and how you felt and how you sounded. But honestly, I didn't realize that I was actually hearing my mental process. And I was actually like just watching myself build and be stronger and being like, if I didn't feel like I was strong, I just kept saying that I was and had the faith. Now for that, that third eye chakra, what I showed you guys, this actually opens your third eye chakra. I know a lot of people, you know, say that you can lucid dream. You can do so many things. I suggest that you really do more information. I can give you guys information, but I suggest that you do more information. I suggest that you understand exactly, you know, when you open up that third eye and you see society for what it is, and you see that, you know, society has, you know, put you guys into like a new slavery system for real, and made everything a corporation and made you guys work for everything, and they hit you 15 times to make you still be stuck into this low vibrational demonic frequency. You know, when you see those things and you actually understand the things, like, and you kind of like have that compassion in your heart and be like, man, I can't be mad at that person for how they treated me, you know, because they was so low vibrational they couldn't even get up out that stuff themselves. That's the kind of stuff that you see. But even when you go around those people that are still asleep, that's the kind of stuff that you feel, and you can't help them. You can't save them, because to be honest with you, a person not going to wake up until they ready to wake up. So it's a lonely lifestyle. That's why I say pray, meditate. Because now if you're going through this, then you're going to have, I don't care if you got a best friend, pray, meditate. Like your higher self and God should always be your best friend. Because at the end of the day, like, your best friend is so wild about this spiritual life. Your best friend could be messing with a man that has a low vibrational energy. And the fact that you guys are like this, and she's coming around you, she's going to keep zapping your energy, and she's going to keep taking from you, and you're not going to feel and know where that energy is coming from, but that's where it's coming from. So you have to be mindful. It's probably people that has been around you for a very, very long time, and you think that they love you. Sweetie, when you open that third eye, you're going to see some things, and you're going to feel some things. And that intuition is very true. It's a very lonely lifestyle, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm happier with each test that I pass. And I'm happier because I keep growing and growing and growing, but it's a very lonely lifestyle. And I very highly suggest that you find a routine. Wake up, smile, make your bed, take a cold shower, you know, go ahead on and set that purpose of, you know, go ahead on and say, hey, it's, you know, find you something that can make you that money that you want. Find you something that can get you to where you want to be. Find you something that's going to find your damn self within yourself, to the point where you don't need no one else, to the point where if you are broken, you fall up and you fall on your butt gracefully. Like, that's how you have to have it to be when you open that third eye, because it's going to be a rude awakening if you ain't ready. And it's going to hurt you if you ain't ready. And it's going to really break you if you ain't strong. So that's why it's very important, like, to make sure you root it. Because if you root it, can't nothing stop you. Get your Palo Santo, get your sage, get your Florida water. Know how to clean your house spiritually. Know how to wake up. Know how to pray. Don't beg. We don't beg. We're gods. We're goddesses. We don't beg. Do not get on your knees and pray. Stand up tall and pray. Know who you talking to, for real. Because if you still carry those same habits, it's a whole different world. Like, you are worthy. If you don't know what that means, then go look at a Michael Jackson video when they was worthy, for real. That's what you are. You're worthy. So if you really want to tap into that manifestation, because I don't even manifest money. I manifest opportunities. I manifest the people that's going to give me the knowledge to get to me to the next level. I manifest the person that's going to listen to me and invest in me, or give me that person that's going to do it for me. I stopped manifesting money because it's fake. It was designed to keep us in this matrix. That's it. It was designed to keep us working. That was the only way that we was going to stay in that system. You got to detach and let that ego go too. For real. Listen to your dreams. When you sleep, have something next to you, like have a journal next to you. Listen to your dreams. If you feel unsafe, God, I feel unsafe. I don't know what it is. I feel unsafe. I don't feel right. Something don't feel right. Clean this energy around me. Protect me. And watch you feel it. You got to start like, you are a guy. You got to start like saying it, being it, living it, allowing it. Like, I'm going to change my circumstance tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to wake up tomorrow. My whole entire life going to change.
Right.
Why? I deserve it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you have to have that outlook to be cold in this lifestyle, be cold in this world for real. Because the weak will not make it, but the weak
Yeah.
can be taught.
And when it comes to that third eye family, that's like something I use a lot. You know, those affirmations. You know what I mean? When I come in. And then, so when Tiff first got on, she's like, you know what I mean, you guys could be potentially blocking yourself from y'all blessings. You know what I mean? I blocked myself through my blessings for a long time in life. You know what I mean? So let me give y'all one like story when it came to the streets, y'all. The more I thought about getting killed, the more I thought about the other gang was gonna retaliate, wipe my nose, you feel me? I was just gonna, die a poverty soldier. I thought it so much. I think it's what brought the shootouts into my life. I think it's what brought the people of that same energy, of that same frequency to me. They like, oh yeah, my nigga's Snoop, you feel me? Woody woo, woody woo, woody woo.
You are what you attract.
You know what I mean? You are what you attract.
You are
You know
what
what I mean?
goes
If
around
you're not alive, y'all know I put, so if y'all ever been fans of Dragon Ball Z, y'all know I put the Majin symbol right here. And I took that heavy when I seen it go on Vegeta head and baby head, and you know what I mean. If y'all don't know what that is, I mean, it's a show full of gods. You know what I mean? They're all gods. You know what I mean? And then one in particular, his name is Vegeta. And then it came this other little dude named Bobby. So Bobby created Majin Buu. So he had this M, and then once you were infected by Majin Buu, like you gained a power. You gained a power, y'all, but it was the wrong power. Like it took your power level from 5,000 to over 9,000, but in the wrong direction. Y'all get me? It's like using persuasion for manipulation. You're getting in the right space in life, but you're using it for the wrong thing. I spent a lot of energy, you know what I mean, a lot of time, wasted a lot of time being with those low frequency individuals. So yeah, I'm attracting, I'm living a life that I wanted to live. I'm like, oh yeah, we gonna get on suckers, and we gonna do this, and we gonna get all the hoes. You know what I mean? Just make sure y'all heading in the right direction. You know what I mean? When it comes to having that eye open, being able to see the world, being able to view auras. You know what I mean? We should get into aura reading. You know what I mean? One time, it's like being able to see somebody's chakra bouncing up off of them. You know what I mean? And being able to read somebody by what they say to you. You know what I mean? By what they do to you.
by what they don't say.
And what they don't say.
Man, let me tell you something. What they don't say, your intuition will tell you exactly what they said. That's how powerful you are.
Facts.
That's how powerful you are. And I'm glad that we went the other way, because when it comes into the crown chakra, like when everything is aligned and you are aligned and you know who you are and you show up and you claim who you are for real. Like it took me, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It took me 5 months to live in that power. It took me actually sitting in my mirror, like sitting in front of my mirror, in my birthday suit, basically sitting in front of my mirror and looking at every piece of myself and saying, you know what, I don't like this part, but you know what, it's all right, because we're going to change that. Oh, I have the power to change. Yeah, you got the power to change. You just was lazy to change. You let your heart show on your sleeve when you should have snatched that shit back with that Pluto and Scorpio and checked it. But you didn't check it. So now your boundaries, because you didn't have boundaries. So that's how the assessment worked with myself. And I start seeing, oh, you didn't have boundaries. So that's why you're going through this. And it's like, you have to really like be like a mind digger and keep digging and digging and digging and digging until you get to the root. Now with the crown chakra, when you're aligned, man, it's like,
hold on, Tiff.
Yeah.
You right back in crown?
Yeah, because I wanted to touch back and just say something on the crown, because it really, and it was just one small thing. Did you want to touch on something?
They was asking me about the foods, one for the throat, and then the one, you know what I mean, and also the one for third eye.
Okay.
I mean, the one when it came to throat or Washington, we had came to the conclusion that it comes from fruit juices, figs, sea plants, plums, melons. So your chlorella, your spirulina, you know what I mean? That was for throat. I mean, even hydration. When you think about clearing the throat, when we have physical ailments in our body, whether it be, I mean, whether it be solar plexus, sacral, when we get a stomach ache, sacral, we can't breathe, heart, I mean, we can't love, and then we even have like heart issues, third eye, we're having headaches, crown headaches, throat, you know what I mean, irritated throat and stuff like that. And then the foods for the third eye family would be purple berries, plums, purple potatoes, you know what I mean? Eggplant, we're starting to, even blueberries, you know what I mean? We're thinking blue slash purple hue, I mean, and then we're gonna get even more purple and even more hydrated and outside when it comes to the crown.
Oh yes. So when it comes into like being alignment, you know, you staying on tag, because let me show y'all, I had to get right. So this is what I had to do. So when it comes to you being right, this is what I do to make my income. This is like the internal part of me, right? I get deep within myself. This is classes, non-negotiables, and this is the other stuff. Like when it comes to being in up with yourself, and you wake up early, right? You wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and the first thing you do is smile, you know, and you ask God, like, or you ask your ancestors if you have an altar, you know, you go there respectfully and peacefully and humbly. How can I inspire one today? When you go like that, how can I inspire someone else? You know, how could I fulfill my purpose? How can I, you know, just be an inspiration to someone else? You'll actually just kind of like allow yourself to flow with the day. You'll flow with what you can do. You'll get that creative idea that can be $1 million idea, and you'll get that purpose that you want for yourself, but only when you let go. You got to let go of pain. You got to let go of past experiences. That's why I say the limiting beliefs got to be checked. You got to check your mind. You got to check your ego and secure your heart, secure your soul, for real. You know, secure yourself. When the crown chakra and all that intuition, not intuition, but all that incitement, just the level of understanding on a certain level, I like to call it wisdom. You may kind of come across tarot readers, and I like to say a tarot reader is someone that discerns the situation on the level of knowledge, or the level of wisdom that they have. I feel like the level of wisdom that you have come from the excitement, the incitement of your crown chakra. It comes from the understanding and the groundedness of understanding the situation from a higher perspective. And that's when it comes, when you're obedient, you'll find out, oh, dang. So this whole entire pandemic, like, I didn't get no unemployment. I couldn't get approved for nothing. Like, but I was going against the grain. I wasn't letting go. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. The moment that I let go, the moment that I was obedient and I listened, things just started happening easier. Like, I just started waking up to easier things. So let that incitement come in. Let that meditation come in. Allow yourself to put that phone down. Allow yourself to listen to music that's not too rah, rah, rah. Because when it's rah, 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 it's kind of hard to get on that 432 hertz and meditate. Or it's kind of hard to not meditate with no music. Or it's hard to do those things because your mind is just going and your mind is just thinking, and you're not really allowing, how can I put this? Because I really feel like Instagram opened up the gates for people to not really have a long attention span. So you definitely want to be on some like hertz music, some frequency music, some energy casting music, to allow yourself to kind of be at peace, to actually feel that peaceness. And you'll know if you're at peace when people start saying around you, like, dang, like you feel so peaceful. And that's when you'll know, like, you getting closer and closer to where you're supposed to be. And before you know it, you gonna start attracting the people that's like-minded. You have to let go of the people that's not. You have to cut the past off to replace them with the new. It's like a little, I don't know if this is manipulation or not, y'all let me know. But I've found, like, in my life, when I find that that person expiration date is clear and sound, I let them go. And it's always that they either have the same name or the similar name, and they'll come in my life and give me more value. So I'll get the opposite. I let go of the lower frequency and I get the higher Like, I don't know if y'all, it's just weird. I'll be doing that a lot, but it's weird. But I probably shouldn't have said that. But yeah, I mean, it's just really a one-step shop. And you guys, when you get that email and do your spiritual baths, that would really help you in what we're talking about today. And when 11 Hertz come back and he go into depth about it, it would actually help you guys to kind of test where you are, to test the foods that, you know, Spence talking about, to also test what I'm talking about, and to really give yourself that opportunity to go within and find your own questions. Because right now we're living in history. Right now, you know, we have descendants inside of us that are going to come into this world, and for us to take this opportunity right now is very powerful, because what we have now is our minds, and minds can be turned into manuals, that can be turned into books, that can be turned into intellectual property. So everything that we have is best to start going within and start making that guided manual for your family. And maybe you can possibly sell it to someone who don't even want to make it for their family. But I think that it's a good start with the spiritual baths, and then start asking yourself those questions that are kind of like inside of you that you are unsure about. So that way you can test your own strength and work on your faith if you have to work on that, or test your faith, or you know your faith is good. But just really, like, you know, start seeing your mindset for what it is, and just kind of shift it differently.
Thanks.
Famous relationships. Yeah. Okay, so I thought that I was kind of being a little narcissistic there when I did that. So I'm not being narcissistic. Cool. I thought I was. I'm like, I don't want to do a little bit too much YouTube.
Man, y'all, but you know what I'm saying? You gotta be honest with that, man. Like when I always speak on the human battery, man. You know what I mean? It's you only got a certain amount of energy, you know what I mean, based on how you live, how you sleep, how you eat. Human battery, you know what I mean? Human manual, human vehicle, we all humans, family, you know what I mean? We work a different set of ways. We work on emotion, we work on frequencies, vibration. We have earth, wind, fire, water. Everything is in this physical vessel that we got to live in. You know what I mean? So you can only spend so much spiritual energy, human battery on certain situations. You can be with somebody for 20 years, family. If your human battery always up here, you always, you know what I mean, good, your shit is in a line, and you just got somebody that just, you know, pulls it down a little bit, but you love them. You know what I mean? They make you laugh, and you built a bunch of great moments together. You know what I mean? So when it comes to a relationship, man, you can't. I mean, I love you to death, man, but you're not for me. You know what I mean? When it came to, again, I always use the streets, y'all, because I'm saying that's where I came from so long. It's so many partners out there. I came up with them 15 years. You know what I mean? We like all in our early 30s, 31, 32, 34, you know what I mean? But the ones that still lost, the ones that still outside on that block, family, I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? We had some cool moments, family, but you know what I'm saying? You're just not for me no more. You're not for my energy. You're not for the Spin City energy. You know what I mean? You for that old energy, how I used to carry myself, how I used to live my life. You know what I mean? So if somebody not about to, you know, you not seeing eye to eye, like you see them build a little bit, you're like, oh yeah, we going up. You like, all right, family. You know what I mean? Don't get too far emotional off the loss, but just realize, man, you wasn't for my energy anyway. You was gonna kill me. You was gonna kill my energy anyway, long before I transition off this planet.
I gotta say something about that, because this is something that I've learned. I don't know if anyone has ever seen this for this perspective, but when he just spoke about a loss, sometimes those losses are not for you, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes those losses are for you to experience, so you can tell somebody else, like, that's going to go through that same loss. And
I definitely want to tap in with y'all on that.
Okay. Hey, you muted though.
Yeah, just went back muted.
I'm waiting till you done. How y'all doing?
It's okay.
You're good, Jolene.
Oh, she can go. You can go.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nah. So it's crazy. I went through a lot of things in my life. Like, you know, in my one lifetime, I've lived 100 lifetimes. Like, honestly, you know, a lot of people always ask, like, oh man, how are you so plugged? Or you do so many things, or you know, all this stuff. It's because I've truly lived so many lifetimes in my short span of years on this planet. And I feel as though every single quote unquote, people might view it as negative situation that I've ever gone through. I didn't go through it for me. Like I have literally went through it and been able to help. Like so, I'll give an example. I went through something some years ago, like in my first marriage, and I literally from that experience through that point in my lifetime, I was able to take what I learned and help literally hundreds and thousands of women across the US and in different countries get out of situations that they wouldn't necessarily have, ever had the strength to or the
Right.
knowledge. So I was able to give them not only the knowledge on, hey, there are resources out here to help you. Don't let anybody ever think that, that you're alone and that you're incapable. So I taught women about resources, and not only that, I teach them that you're stronger than what you think. And if you can't be strong for you, be strong for them babies that are in the situation with you, because they didn't ask to be here.
Right.
So, I literally have gone through so many different things, but every single thing that I've gone through, I have literally been able to take that and help somebody else. Or in the midst of being in those situations, I've learned something that, say, 10 years later, took me to a whole nother level. Like
Yes.
I'm talking about, took me
And
to
it's like a whole nother level quickly, and you don't even realize it.
yeah, no, and I I try to put people on, like, as far as manifestation goes, because people always feel like, oh man, no, I've been putting in the energy and I've been doing this and I've been doing that. Nothing's happening for me. I try to tell people big things, think of it in fives, right? 5 years.
Right.
In 5 years' time, you can literally change your entire life. People
Right.
always want that instant gratification, but the instant gratification, a lot of times, those are the type of situations that'll literally get you hemmed up.
Yeah, that'll block your blessings. Actually, you'll
Oh, yeah,
manifest that you don't even want.
Yep.
absolutely. I'll give you a good example, like personal experience. So 5 years ago, I was living overseas, was making amazing money, had businesses, multiple streams of income, multiple employment. And my husband, who I met overseas as well, he was getting out of the military, and so he decided to get out of the military right after we got married. Um, so I was just all like, all right, cool, So I'm thinking we're gonna set up in Guam. Everything is gonna be copacetic, all this stuff. No, he had not been to the mainland in years, so he wanted to come. He wanted to go back to the U.S. and try to start life there. So I'm over here like, like in my head, I'm like, you want me to give up my entire life, everything I built here on this island and throughout, Southeast Asia, like to go to, to nothing basically, to start over. So he gets offered a position in Colorado, and I'm just all like, all right, I got a brother out there, and let's just see what we can make happen. Honestly, when he was just like, okay, we're gonna relocate to Colorado, all this stuff, I was just like, okay, like, nodding my head, like, all right. Well, I spent that night, I cried. Like, I don't cry a lot, but I cried because I'm like, dang, I'm really about to give up all of this stuff, you know,
Yeah,
and
because
there's
you're
no,
comfortable.
yeah, and it wasn't even more so comfortable. That was the place where I bounced back. I brought myself up from my previous marriage. So, I had spent almost a decade by myself. And here I was now in a second marriage, and my whole entire life was getting turned upside down. So, fast forward, they PCSed us to California. We got to California, none of our things were there, which we shipped our stuff way ahead of time, like months ahead of time. Our things were not there. They didn't know where it was at. So we're like, okay, we get there, we rent a car or whatnot, and we're like, okay, we have to make our way to Colorado. Can you bring this to Nana? Sorry, 1 second. Let me just give this to my son. Here. We have to, we got to make our way to Colorado because he had to report, like, I think it was 2 weeks or something like that.
Mhm.
So we drive cross country from San Francisco to Colorado. the ending of 2015. We arrived to Colorado, we called the people when we had first arrived to California, and they were like, oh, okay, we look forward to meeting your family, blah, blah, all this stuff. We arrived to Colorado. I want to say like a week later, these people gave the position to somebody else. After we had relocated, they did not call my husband, did not email him, did not notify him. So now, he's freaking out, and I'm like, it's okay, it's fine. So at this point in time, it was all like, boom, our savings were dwindling because we had to do that cross country and then all this stuff. I'm like, look, we're gonna take the money, we're just buy a car. So we purchased like some little whatever car. It was like it was a Jimmy. We purchased this Jimmy, put our stuff in there, and I'm like, we're gonna figure something out. So when we first got out here, we were literally living out of this little. We might have spent $2,000 on this car because we didn't have much. So we were living out of this freaking car. Yep, GMC Jimmy. So I was just all like, look here, if we're gonna be living out this damn car, it's gonna be the most comfortable car you ever lived out of. You know what I mean? So I went and I got, I went in there, I got the stuff and at this point, so my husband was already coming out the military. So now he starts getting PTSD, all kinds of psychological stuff start triggering. And because he medically left the military. So I'm over here just trying to keep him together and nah, don't worry about it. So, I made this car comfortable as can be, and I'm all like, don't worry, I used to live out here. I'll just start hitting up some connects or whatnot. So from that Jimmy, we lived in there for a little bit. From there, it was crazy, got a gym membership, was showering at the gym. So when people really oh yeah, Jalea this, Jalea that, I'm like, nah, let me tell y'all for real.
Yeah, I went on mute.
Lamar, can you call Daddy's phone? And it was really hard because I'm just sitting here this man is finna snap, something's gonna happen. And at that point, I really thought, sorry, 1 second. I need you to get the face shield from Nana. Get the box. So yeah, we ended up, one of my brother's friends had a room for rent. So now my husband and I moved from the Jimmy into this little room, and it's a tiny room at that, small. So I'm like, all right, if we're gonna be in this room, I'm gonna make this the most comfortable room. So it's I try to put, my husband makes music, so I try to put separation. So I kind of put the desk at the end of the bed so that the desk was facing one way and the bed was on the other side. And so that, he had somewhat of a separation when he wanted to make music, and that versus where he was laying his head at night. So I'm all like, cool, this is what we're going to do. It's all right. So, every day it's just I saw my husband deteriorating.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him deteriorating, and I'm just all like, I'm going to fix this. So, against his wishes, because he was all like, oh, I'm not going to do no claims and all that. I'm like, you need to. So he's just like, I don't want to do anything. So I turned around and I'm all like, whether he wants to or not, I went there and I'm doing his claims. I did his VA claim. I did all the paperwork. I'm putting in everywhere, getting resources left and right. And I told him, I was just like, don't worry. Sure enough, I'm over here just manifesting whatever I got to manifest to make sure that we're good. Within, he's over here really about to give up on life because he got screwed left and right. Just leave it. You got it? Sorry, my son's trying to get this box in the car. But yeah, so he's really just at the point, lowest point he's ever been in his life. And I'm all like, nah, everything's gonna be good. Trust me. I knew in my gut. So I went out, I got these resources. Mind you, that same vehicle, did you get your drink? That same vehicle that we got, it was literally breaking down from when we drove it. We didn't even make it to that house. So we had to get things fixed. So I went and got resources for that. This place that helps veterans, they help pay for that, just all this stuff. And I'm all like, just don't worry. So legit, March comes around, I'm working, and he had a seasonal job. But with that seasonal job, they were telling him that, I'll get that from Nana, it'll be done by February at the latest. So, he's working this job,
Hell yeah.
At the post office, and things were kind of okay. We're doing okay, but all of a sudden they're just like, oh, okay, your time's up, and it was months before we thought it was going to be up. Okay, thank you. All right, I love you. Fast forward, here come March. One day he's just all like, hey, we need to go get this and that. Let's go. Basically, he goes to check the account. Why was the money from the VA that I had applied months before and didn't say anything to him sitting in this account? He's just like, hey, I think there's a mistake. I'm like, what you mean? He goes, he's like, look. So he looks, there's like $3,000 something sitting in the account, and he's about ready to fall out. And at the time, I'm hustling, like I'm selling plates, I'm doing hair, everything, like everything and anything. You know what I mean? Like I was doing like a personal chef thing for the other people who were renting in that house. I'm like, all right, y'all give up grocery money and whatnot, and then I'll make these meals. So they were like throwing me extra money to make all the meals in this house too, aside from me selling plates outside. So, fast forward a little bit more. It's like a few months later, these people, so the way I did his paperwork, because, I'm a resource queen, the way I did his paperwork, I turned around and these people back paid us to when he first got out the military. So I went to go check the mail. I'm like, hey, you got something from the VA? I handed it to him. Come to find out, it was a $30,000 plus check. Like, so things just started lining up. And I was telling him, so, we went through all this hardship over the last 5 years. This has been our best year. 2020 has been our best year since all this stuff started happening. So, my husband's like, oh man, this COVID, this is now. I'm like, it's gonna be all right.
We've been here before.
Because he came off the road. My husband was a truck driver. After a while, he was driving trucks. But when I was getting ready to give birth, he comes off the road. And then he's working for the YMCA because so he's also a personal trainer. He's certified with NASM. He comes off the road. He's working for that. COVID hits. Why were these people at YMCA? Because he had just I want to say 2 months before COVID hit, they gave him a promotion. Because they gave him that promotion, he was upgraded to a full-time employee as well as a lead. So they were like, okay, we're just gonna find things for you to do. So he's sitting at home. They're just like, call the members, make sure they're doing okay, see if they need anything. And legit, that's all that he was doing, and he was getting paid throughout COVID. Myself personally, I got laid off. I was working for the airline. They terminated my position, and I was on maternity leave when all of this stuff was happening. So I'm just all like, I told my husband, I was like, don't worry. Sure enough, the post office that he's been waiting for a year hired him during COVID, brought him in. So I want to say like May time. And we were able to close on our first home, even though everything was going crazy. Like when I'm saying everything in life was going crazy, this everything was like, wow, what is happening right now? We closed on our first home June 10th. Within the first week of us living there, the house floods. The builders try to put it on us and was just all like, oh, no, you signed the contract, all this stuff. I was all like, cool, don't worry. I called up USAA. It was 2 days prior to the house flooding. And I'm just showing y'all how energy aligns and how God really got us out here. Yeah. 2 days prior, I called them to check on the insurance policy because I'm like, hey, I want to make sure, how are these things? What are the deductibles? The deductible was $10,123 for any incident that happened, whether it be hail, flood, whatever, right? I was just like, 10,000. I said, oh no, how do we change this? I said, can we do like 1,000 or 500? And they were like, yeah, absolutely. We'll go ahead and take care of that for you. Lamar, can you call Daddy and tell him that I was on the phone?
You said it was 1,000. You said it was $10,123.
$123 is
that's
what
number 7.
Yeah, and that's crazy because that's my favorite number now. Oh. But so $10,123, and then so I told him, I was just like, no, can I change it to 500? So when I changed that deductible to 500, tell Daddy we're on the way. What do you call this? It changed it across the entire policy, and I had no clue. But they were like, oh yeah, that's fine, and it's just going to be $46 difference per month. And I was like, oh, perfect. 2 days later, the house floods. Our brand new 2020 just built home floods. And because of that, and then they were trying to put it on us. They were talking about it was going to cost like $30,000-$40,000 for these repairs. And I'm just like, what in the world? I was freaking out within my heart. And then, can you tell that we're on the way already? So, you know, I'm just over here freaking out, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna let my family see I'm freaking out. So, you know, I'm the type when something happens, before I bring up the problem, I'm already gonna have the solution for it. So, you know, I'm like USAA, you know, this happened, you know, do you guys cover this? They're like, okay, tell us the situation. They're like, oh yeah, we got you covered. And by the way, can you make sure you take note of anything that water touched, like belongings wise, because we have to replace it.
Wow.
So I'm just all like, you know, God is so good. Then here we are. When I'm saying blessings on top of blessings on top of blessings, we have been waiting 6 months for our taxes to come in. And during this Aquarius full moon, my husband's an Aquarius. I told him, I literally had just said to him, I said, baby, watch. I said, this moon is for you. I said, these energies are high. I said, you're about to get an unexpected blessing. Here my husband again. He wanted to go get him a game. He goes to check the account, and he was just like, wife. Like, literally, because we call each other husband and wife. Like, he's like, wife, go look at the account. He's like, the taxes hit. I'm like, no. So I go and look, and I'm like, no. I said, I told you that these blessings come and this and that. And then just prior to that, the VA, they back paid us because they hadn't been paying us the full amount. And I'm talking about, this was 3 days prior. So they, you know what they say about 3 days after 3 days.
You just got to know how it's coming in them threes. You got to know how it's coming.
Exactly. So I'm all about 7s and 3s. Like, that's my thing, 7s and 3s. And then my husband is anything. Yeah, 22 is his number. So he's always like 22, everything 22.
It's
so
11 for me, 8 for me, 10.
Yeah, no, and then I see ones everywhere like that. You know, that's always my thing. Like, when I see ones, I'll gravitate towards it. So, you know, I'm letting him know. I'm just all like, man, that's crazy. Because like right before that money hit, the back pay from the VA hit. And it was unexpected because I put that paperwork in 2 years ago.
Right.
2 years ago. So that's why I'm saying, like, everybody is always there for instant gratification. But I said, it's not about the instant gratification. It's about those seeds that you plant.
Yes.
And sometimes when you plant those seeds, it takes time to harvest. You feel me? Like, it takes time for that to blossom. It takes time for that to grow.
And it also takes time for that to harness within. You have to be ready. Like, okay, because this whole entire time, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, this whole entire COVID, I survived off of disputes and overdrafts. Disputes and overdrafts. Literally. Like, literally. To the point where I couldn't even get no more, like, can you guys charge back that dispute payment? Can you guys charge back that overdraft payment? Yeah, we'll charge that back for you. Miss Riley, we disputed over $1,000. We can't do that no more. I'm like, fuck, all right.
Right.
To the point where I woke up the next morning and I finally got approved for TWC. Like, finally got approved for that stuff. So now I'm able to take care of my things. But to be honest with you, if I would have received that money 6 months ago, I would have tricked it off. Not tricked it off in a sense like that, but I would have tricked it off to the point where, because when you're living spiritually, you want everything spiritual, right? You know, when you want to live clean, you want to get all that cleanliness. You want to get everything that you need. But now that I know intellectual property, now I understand estate planning and trust, my money is not going to property. My money is going to my property. It's going to my estate. Now I know how to move that money to make that foundation work for my family and my descendants. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is a powerful story.
Yeah. No, and that's what I try to tell people. But if we would have got
passionate heart.
Yeah, no, but if we would have got this same money in 2016, it would have been gone. Because let me tell you, my mindset is completely different from my husband's mindset. You feel me? Like, completely different. So when it comes to financials, we view things in polar opposites. him, he's just like, oh yeah, I'm about to get me a pinky ring. I'm about to get these new rims. Oh, you know, I'm over here like, oh, we about to pay off this bill. We're gonna pay off this debt. You know, and then I'm all about leveraging debt because you know there's good debt and there's bad debt, and I try to
Right.
teach people that all the time. So
Yeah.
this time around, when that money hit for our back pay for the VA, I'm like, slam this on your credit card. There was $14,000 on that credit card that needed to get paid. I'm like, slam it on this credit card right here. And I said, now that credit card is our savings account.
Right.
Instead of us taking that and putting
Secure-
it here, putting it there, letting it sit in an account, I said, now it's a savings account. And guess what? Your credit score is about to jump up like crazy because now you just opened up a whole entire credit line that was at 100% usage, and now it's at 0% usage. So I said, now you're looking golden. So every single one of our credit cards are paid off. I only have one, but my husband got credit cards. I said, now every single one is paid off. And the only thing that we have sitting out there are low interest rate loans.
Oh my gosh. I just have to say this, like,
So
just by,
they're using, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
oh no, no,
Yeah,
I think I interrupted you.
Oh, no, no worries. No, so, you know, that's why I try to show people, like, you know, I'm like, you should never miss a credit card payment. You should never be going without, like, you know, sitting there because I'm all like, literally, all you have to do is whenever you get paid, or actually before you get paid, sit there, look at your bills, find out what bills can I pay with a credit card. Then not only do you look at what bills can I pay with a credit card, you call the credit card and say, hey, Mr. Credit Card Company, can you let me know when is your report date? When do you report to the credit bureau?
Yes.
All right, cool. Jot that down. Okay, now when is my due date? So you got those two important dates right there. When you get paid with your pay, you slam however much you can of that paycheck that is liquid money onto that credit card. Now that credit card is your new debit card. That's what you're going to pay your bills from, but only after the report date. So for most people, you get paid twice a month. What you're going to do is turn around after your report date. You're going to pay the bills that you can pay with your credit card, which for a lot of people, a lot of times it's like $1,000 plus that they've got sitting in liquid money, that money that they could use twice, money that they can make work twice for them. So then from there, what you're going to do is in that meantime, you pay those bills. Another paycheck is coming right around the corner. You take that paycheck and you do the same thing. You're going to pay it before your due date or right around your due date. So every single time when they report to your credit bureau, it looks like you have this much money in your card when in reality you only have this much money. But guess what? Now that makes you look golden, as if, oh man, this person really knows how is being responsible with credit. This person is paying their bill on time, but not only are they paying their bill on time, they're paying over.
Yeah.
Hey, would you like an increase?
Yeah, that's what I did actually. And it's been working out because I just applied for a Sam's card earlier today. So I'm building my credit, right? I have a Navy Federal secured and I paid that down earlier today. And I opened up a Sam's card today. And I'm like, you know what? This is an essential. I'm opening up credit cards only, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. So like
Julia and Tiffany.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know y'all killing it on manifestation, but take 5 more minutes. I do got to get y'all this assessment for brain health via nutrition.
Oh, yeah.
I know y'all killing it though, but come on.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. We can get into it. Yeah, we can definitely get into it right now.
Okay, sure.
It's all good, man. The story is about based on now that's one hell of a manifestation though, Jalea. That's the way to, you know what I'm saying, get it out the mud. You know what I mean? That's why we call it where we come from, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, getting it really out the mud, really having the knowledge. You know what I mean? And not getting too rattled out there in all your situations. Like you got took from the business, you're like, all right, shit, I'm gonna get back to the States. I'm gonna still make this shit, you know what I'm saying, work how it happened. All right, bet. Whatever we gotta live. Okay, boom, we're about to live out the whip right quick. Like, yeah, you was doing your thing. That was a way to run one hell of a manifestation. I just want to take y'all real quick through this these risk factors when it comes to nutrition for brain health, and we can get right back into the story. But I just want y'all to take these notes down right quick, get real honest with yourself. And I mean, don't cheat yourself on this. Y'all can keep this for yourself. But we're gonna look into, I mean, if y'all can write, this is just a true or false test. You know what I mean? You can take for yourself, and then I'm gonna go over those tests that we usually speak of before when it comes to blood glucose and you know what I mean, hemoglobin, A1C, and etc. So if y'all can get y'all notes, you know what I mean, and ask yourself these questions. Yeah, we're gonna have to let Jolie, you know what I'm saying, let some more of that shit fly, because we already know what kind of knowledge she brings in the first place. I mean, it's just coming up on 2:30 my time. So let's all right, y'all, let's get right to it, man. A self-assessment, you know what I mean, about what you feed in the brain and what kind of health you're having. All right. All true or false, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Be honest. Number one is I eat bread of any kind. It's true or false. You don't gotta shout it out. You know what I mean? You could put it in there. I eat bread is the first part of this assessment. True or false? Take a few seconds. 2, I drink fruit juice, any kind. True or false? On that, I have more than 1 serving of fruit a day. True or false? I have more than 1 serving of fruit a day. I definitely do. Number 4, y'all. I choose agave or artificial sweetener over sugar. True or false? Number 5, y'all. I get out of breath on my daily walks. 5, true or false? You're getting out of breath. That's walking. And if we know, family, number 6 is my cholesterol is below 150. If you've already gone through some testing and you know where it's at, true or false? Number 7, I have insulin resistance or diabetes. True or false? Eight, family, I am overweight. Do I feel overweight? True or false? Number 9, I eat pasta, crackers, and pastries. True or false? Pasta, crackers, and pastries. Number 10, I drink milk. True or false? The dairy kind, not the nut kind, cow kind, goat kind. Number 11, I don't exercise regularly. True or false? I don't exercise regularly. Number 12, family, neurological conditions run in my family. They said, oh, this runs in the family, this runs in the family. Dementia, Alzheimer's, neurological conditions run in the family. True or false? Number 13, family, is I don't take a vitamin D supplement. I'm talking about a supplement right now. If you don't take a vitamin D supplement, that's true. If you are taking supplementation, it's false. 14, y'all, I eat a low-fat diet. Next one, y'all, I avoid high cholesterol foods. True or false? Are you avoiding the high cholesterol foods, y'all? 17, y'all. Or the next one, 16. I drink soda, diet or regular. Number 18. Oh, damn. Why did I skip that shit? The next one, y'all, is I don't drink wine. True or false? I don't drink wine. Next, y'all, I take a statin. You know, drugs that lower levels of cholesterol in the blood, reducing the production of cholesterol by the liver. Take a statin. I do drink beer. And the last one, y'all, is I eat cereal of any kind. Should be about 20 questions, true or false on there, y'all. I got y'all words in there. It's all good. So y'all got y'all true or false, y'all. A perfect score on this test would be a whopping 0. 0 true answers. If you answer true to one question, your brain and your entire nervous system is at a great risk for disease and disorder. It's not nothing to get afraid of. It's not. It's like, God damn. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You just gotta be true in there. You know what I mean? And when we think about books like The Grain Brain, you know what I mean, and what these things should be doing to us when it comes to beer, wine, bread, cereals, etc. Y'all. And the more truths that you guys tallied up, you know what I mean, the higher your risk. You know what I mean? So maybe feeling out of breath. Hold on, Deja. All right, we got you, man. We got you, man. If you scored more than a 10, you're putting yourself into a hazard zone for serious neurological ailments that can be prevented, but cannot be necessarily cured when you might be diagnosed. A couple of mine are true sometimes. If it's true in any case, you know what I mean? If there's true in any case, Lena, I'm gonna put this like in the notes in the group later or something. I mean, because it is like those 20 questions. But I do want y'all to have that information for yourself. You know what I mean? When we're looking towards, you know, grains and wheat, carbs, sugar, and what it does to the brain. I mean, I'll make sure we have this list somewhere. Because everybody else that was able to sit down and take a look at this, you know what I mean? They got it. But for those that missed it, 9 truths, not too bad. Yeah, y'all ain't Nick. Y'all ain't Nick. I mean, if any of y'all want to share, you know what I mean, how many truths you do have, you know, yeah, feel free to drop that. You got Nick in there, Lena's in there, you know, they're saying about 6 for Washington. Cool. Uh-oh, Brian. Come on, man. See what we gotta do. Come on, Vaughn. It's all good, man. You know, I mean, when it comes to this whole United States, y'all, we were already tricked. When I always talk about consumerism as anti-healthcare, somebody took nutritional science, y'all, and beat us over the head with it. They're like, okay, shit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna change this, and I'm gonna generate this. I'm gonna genetically modify this. To where, y'all, a lot of our food was coming from, you know, like rural agriculture. It was coming from farmers. Compared to the beginning of the 20th century, it started to become from individuals in lab coats. So what's really going on? You know what I mean? What are we really eating? And then they're pumping all these dollars behind these things, saying that your greatest and favorite athletes use it all the time. You know what I mean? This, that, and the other. Yeah, you know, LeBron does this and drinks Sprite. Oh, fuck, he doesn't, man. He knows where his performance is at, man. He knows, you know what I'm saying, what it's going to take to get out there, you know what I mean, and win these championships and carry these teams. You know what I mean? Every player. So when we see them, that just means corporations are pumping the airwaves and marketing when it comes to that. Damn, cuz must have broke his leg. But y'all, okay, so when we're gonna take a real quick look into our test and what they'll do as far as helping us against grain, brain sugars, etc. So y'all, our fasting blood glucose test, you know what I mean, it's a commonly used diagnostic tool to check for pre-diabetes and diabetes. This test measures the amount of blood sugar, glucose, in your blood after you have not eaten for at least 8 hours. A level between 70 and 100 milligrams per deciliter is considered normal. Above this, your body is showing signs of insulin resistance and diabetes, and an increased risk for brain disease. Ideally, you want to have a fasting blood glucose of less than 95 milligrams per deciliter. And that'll be in what we're looking to do with when we get our fasting blood glucose tests. The next one, when it comes out of that blood panel, y'all, it'll be the hemoglobin A1C test. And unlike a test for blood sugar, this test reveals an average blood sugar over a 90-day period and provides a far better indication of overall blood sugar control, because it can indicate the damage done by brain proteins due to blood sugar, something called glycolated hemoglobin. What's good with it, family? Sound like the sweet drink you have. A good A1C, y'all, is between 4.8 and 5.4%. And it's also in the glycolated hemoglobin. This overall test, A1C, it's one of the greatest predictors of brain atrophy. When we think about atrophy in muscles and the brain, it's shrinkage. It's shrinkage and condensation of the brain and of tissues when we're thinking of atrophy. So just take in those notes. And when we're thinking 5.8, well, sure, is that what you said? For A1C, 4.8, and so between 4.8 and 5.4%, a good A1C value. Fasting insulin, y'all. Long before blood sugars begin to climb in a person, and a person becomes diabetic, the fasting insulin level will rise, indicating that the pancreas is working overtime to deal with the excess of dietary carbohydrate. It is a very effective early warning system to get ahead of the diabetes curve, and so has tremendous relevance for preventing brain disease. You want this number to be below 8 UIU per deciliter. You'll get these tests, y'all. We know we're getting these tests. I'm about to die. Y'all tap in with Jolia, man. You know she got that good story. But when I say when we go get these tests from these our primary care physicians or wherever we're finding our test family, we just want to know this. We want to know what we're looking for. This is not for us to go prick and cut ourselves open and stuff like that and trying to get it figured out. This is to take those tests, hear from those tests, and like, okay, it's working for me this way. This is what I'm looking for. I'm getting ready to see how much carbohydrate I'm taking in, testing my sugars, my wheats, etc. You know what I mean? That's what we're looking towards. And then we're gonna go right here, y'all, into homocysteine. Homocysteine, you know, higher levels of this amino acid produced by the body are associated with many conditions, including osteocolitis, narrowing and hardening of the arteries, heart disease, stroke, and dementia. It can also often be easily lowered with specific B vitamins. So also when we're looking into those tests, we're getting those B vitamin tests so we can look also into our homocysteine. Having a homocysteine level of just 14 UMO per liter, a value exceeded by many of the patients when first examined, was described in the New England Journal of Medicine as being associated with doubling the risk for Alzheimer's disease. So with that being said, it says here an elevated homocysteine level is anything above 10 UMOL per liter in the blood. So that we know what we're looking for when these tests come back. When we're looking for these type of signs, when we're looking for milligrams per liter. And percentages, you know what I mean? We'll keep your percentages, keep that in your note, and then these are the type of things you'll be looking for when it comes to milligrams per liter, UMO. Matter of fact, I think it's deciliter. So this will look more like mg slash dl. Milligrams per deciliter when it comes to especially our fasting blood glucose level, hemoglobin A1C, fasting insulin. We're also going to look for C-reactive protein, CRP, and this goes by C-reactive protein, CRP. This is a marker of inflammation. You want to see less than 3.0 milligrams per liter in your CRP. And it may take several months to improve, but you may as well see positive changes even 1 month after on a certain programming, a certain way of shifting your nutrition. I mean, we'll get more into it. I just want to get through these tests, like the back end of these tests, and also y'all that vitamin D test. And when it comes to vitamin D, it's right there on the test, y'all. When it comes to vitamin D, it comes from the sun. I mean, this is one of the main ones that directly comes from the sun. Get your sunlight, get your hydration. Oh, you know what I mean? So you know that you won't even have to take vitamin D supplements, y'all. We won't even need it. So let's get into some solutions when it comes to getting control. All right, y'all. So I'll put a small list up earlier, y'all, but we're going to go over a few things to get control of the gut-brain connection. And number one, to be to pursue ketosis. I mean, practicing a ketogenic diet. It's high in fat. We know that the brain is the fattest organ in the body. So when we pursue ketosis, you know, we know that this is a metabolic state in which amount of your body's energy supply comes from ketone bodies. So normal secret. So the CRP. So when we get our test back and we start to look and we notice our CRP has it at 3.0. Facts, you know, we pursue ketosis, practice a little bit out of the ketogenic diet. Of course, I don't recommend any diets. It's just a way to feed the brain better. That's what we're looking to do when we're thinking about our blood levels, our, you know what I mean, fasting glucose, hemoglobin, H1Cs, everything is in the blood. Everything is in the blood flow. And I always talk about creating that blood flow in the mind so everything works better. Your neurotransmission works better. I mean, you're able to think on the fly. Like my boy told me, you get up from, you know, you feel lethargy and decreased cognition and stuff like that. This is the end from food and blood sugar. This is the end of it from when it comes from wheat. Like when Tiff came on and talked about it from the spiritual aspect, you know what I mean? Yeah, this is a lot to write down. I'm going to put all this in the group and I'll probably send it to emails. Because this is looking back at our test. These are the notes looking back at our test. So yeah, I'll definitely make sure I get all this to you. And even Tiffany has more for you when it came to the chakras, food for chakras, etc. We definitely wanted to go, you know what I'm saying? I definitely wanted to get to a little bit of science, a little bit of, you know what I mean, what to do when we get our testing back. Because I'll tell y'all about the test. I'm like, oh yeah, go get this test and go get the micronutrient test. But for what, man? Like, what the fuck? Okay, I'm going to get these tests. And then where do we go with it? So definitely, this is more connected to nutrition for the brain, levels of sugar, wheat, and carbohydrate. you know, being honest with yourself on that true or false. Where are you? Just seeing where we're at. Then we go ahead and go get those tests, bring them in. This is so we can read them ourselves. I mean, and it's what they tell us as a nutritionist. You know, when you get and go get your clients and students blood panel work, what to look for, what key indicators am I looking for into making that shift into your nutrition plan. You know, I mean, this is what I'm looking at. You know, I mean, this is what they teach us when we go to ISSA to go get our paperwork, you know what I mean, our certifications and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes they don't. Can you put the okay. Hold on, Devontae, bro. And y'all, we want to just a couple more things. We want to practice some periods of fasting, y'all. Women, be careful with your hormones when it comes to fasting. Find a window that's proper for you, because you know, I mean, if we get our hormones off balance with intermittent fasting, we try intermittent fasting, you know what I mean, and it ends up going the wrong direction. We got to be in touch with our hormones. You know, we get that from our Dutch test, our dry urine test for comprehensive hormones. And make sure that's in balance. But I would like to say to put in periods of fasting, y'all, because we know that periods of fasting is a potent way to both heal the brain and protect it from future damages by going through autophagy, cellular deconstruction, and reconstruction. Also, feeding. Hey, what do I always say? Feeding your gut buddies what's proper. You're more bacteria than you are human. You know what I mean? When we came from our spiritual side, that's us cleaning up the human. But now we have to clean up this vessel. This physical vessel is made out of a lot of bacteria and a lot of earth. You know what I mean? Way more than whatever the human genes have been able to be found in humans, like overall. So really feed those gut buddies, you know, what's proper. Really clean up your nutrition just based on your mind. It's all good, Mike. Because the gut buddies, they're the manufacturers. That's who's calling the brain back via the neurotransmission, via the vagus nerve. It's like you put something in here, and the gut buddies call the brain and say, you know what, that food's trash. I'm not gonna absorb it. You know what I mean? Just to make it simple, that's what we're looking at when it comes to that conversation. So when it comes to our neurochemicals being released by the gut biome, you know, we're thinking of things like dopamine, serotonin, you know, our GABA levels, etc. And so, y'all, here goes a quick overview of some supportive nutrients and substitutes, etc., for optimal brain health and feeding the gut microbiota. So here's what to feed the gut microbiota when we're looking to increase cognition, lethargy, energy in the brain. One, we're gonna bring up CLA. I mean, that's conjugated linoleic acid. These are things that you can usually go and grab from your GNC, or you can grab from your favorites, you know, health, holistic health sites, wherever you feel comfortable. You guys look up CLA.
Coach, you said that was linoleic acid.
Yeah, conjugated linoleic acid, bro. See, Jasmine says she got some CLA at home. Definitely, you're already on the right track. That's all I was trying to say. You know what I mean? Getting into that CLA, bro. That is what it's called, though, that damn CLA shit. We also, y'all, we want to look for something. Some of these words, bro. You can be killing me. Glutathione, family. Put that over. We're done with that. We're done with that. We just want to go through this list. Charcoal, activated charcoal, family. Not, you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna put the grill on our mouth. Our DHA. Our EPA. Our ALA. you know, some acids, you know, reducing oxidative stress. Hold on, sweetie. Let me get the rest of these across. I'm gonna look into it in a second, sweetie. I seen what you just sent me. Regular foods, we're going regular food, y'all. Avocados, if you like them. Beets, vasodilation, acts as a natural blood thinner sometimes, just to promote flow. It's not too much thin. It's not killing y'all. Facts. It's not killing y'all for sure. I mean, it can help improve insulin resistance in older individuals, increase mobility for people. We're gonna think about blueberries, if you're comfortable with those. I mean, not everybody likes everything, Manolo, bro. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like I wanted to come with enough to somewhere somebody can put it together, because there's like, you know, some people don't like avocados, some people don't even like blackberries. They're not gonna mess with the beets, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So I just wanted to get a, you know, a full round things we can take and look through and maybe add to our own kitchens and cabinets. Definitely some chocolate, y'all, but like real chocolate, like cacao. We want to use our oils. Our oils are going to be virgin coconut oil or extra virgin coconut oil. I mean, really good for feeding the brain, y'all. And just a few things we can add to the cabinet, y'all. Bone broth, excellent source of protein, y'all, and fat. The good fat. Broccoli, of course, y'all. And then every time, chocolate is better for you, right? As long as it's like real chocolate, bro. Like when sometimes we go, I mean, because Hershey's can present you with a dark chocolate, but it's like when you get those cacao nips and it really tastes trash, bro. There's like the sugar in it is so low. You know what I mean? Family, if y'all wonder where everything that I buy stuff from, I'm a Sprouts user. I use Sprouts for my stuff. They have it. I use Sprouts. I don't know. You know what I mean, that's a California type thing, I think. You know what I mean? I really don't know where Sprouts are when it comes to the whole country or the whole world, y'all. But I use Sprouts to find these things. Broccoli, y'all. For those of you that like them, eggs, egg yolks really play a key role. As well as down ain't got shit. You might got order some, bro. Mel said he fucking with the Sprout spot. You know what I mean? Sprouts in a lot of cities. Okay, bet. Because sometimes I travel, bro. I be in Texas and I don't see certain, you know what I mean, stores, and I go to Virginia, I don't see certain stores, etc. So maybe they there, maybe they not, you know. Yes, sir. Sprouts in my spot. Bet. Yeah, so y'all, so boom, this is a nice, good list. You know what I mean? Local farms, yeah. You know what I mean? Definitely going with your local farmers and stuff like that when we looking for these, and then pastured, you know what I mean? You want to get free range chicken eggs if you're gonna go into eggs. You know what I mean? We don't want no corns and hormones and stuff pumped into the chickens. Which eggs you might want to eat? Guys, definitely have some kale on the list. Swiss chard is on the list. Romaine. I know some of us don't like romaine. I was talking to sis earlier. You know what I'm saying? If you're not feeling any of it, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so you said eating a kale right now. Yeah, it was actually Shang's not even fucking Christian milk thistle. It's well, but this is kind of my list for like brain health. You know what I mean? These are all going to contribute to cognitive health when it comes to these. These are all, you know, foods that came out of a list when I was going through things for the brain, nutrition for the brain, bro. But yeah, milk thistle overall. Got any nutrients? Yeah, you know what I mean, if it's proper, Cozy, you asked me if the romaine has any good nutrients. Of course, you know what I mean. Any
Yeah, and so you're right. Well, you're right. And so he.
Okay. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, what did I put in last? I put the kale on there, Swiss chard, the romaine, olive oil. Olive oil could be another one, y'all. Virgin.
Hey, Sebastian,
Yep.
is all of this stuff in the chat?
Yeah, I'm typing it in.
Okay, cause I'm driving. I'm so distraught.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I'm gonna get y'all my notes anyway, cause sometimes it's just better for me to send my notes. Yeah, no, the romaine lettuce. Even Swiss chard.
Gotcha.
Those
Thank
greens, those leafy greens, family, is what we're talking about when it comes to that, bro. But yeah, I just want to just start to send y'all my notes, maybe. Like, you know what I'm saying? We had a good class. And like I say, Tiffany got notes for y'all herself when it came to her part of the presentation. Walnut, y'all, the brain. That's the brain nut. A walnut looks like a brain when you put it in half.
If you are allergic to walnuts, which I think I'm allergic to tree nuts, period.
Okay.
What can you say? Now, almonds, I love almonds. I love almonds with wasabi on it.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, like I say, if you're like, you got food sensitivities to things, that's why I'm putting so much, I'm putting so much in there, you know what I mean, when it comes to there, because we could be allergic, we cannot like these things, you know what I mean? Etc. You know what I mean? So shit, we gotta try to find a way to get around it. Let me put a couple more in there real quick. Rosemary, y'all. Let me put these in. Then we get to a little bit of Q&A. So rosemary, y'all, salmon. Y'all, when it comes to our fish, we gotta be kind of wary when it comes to the age of the fish, because we don't want to get take in too many toxic metals, you know what I mean? It could come with fish, and then I'm gonna put the good old turmeric in there, guys. So that could be a cool little grocery list when it comes to increasing cognition and health for the brain, y'all. When it comes to the gut and other things, yeah, there's definitely other things that we could that we can use. You know what I mean? When it comes to that, I just wanted to get y'all just this brief overview. Look into that. You know what I mean? Look, you put that on your shopping list. See what you can take. See what you can't. You know what I mean? It's always, like I say, micronutrient testing is going to be able to show you what you might be missing and what you might can use. So you can go ahead and consult your primary care physician. You know what I mean? With this type of grocery list and see what they have to say. Be able to make your own comparisons in your own blood notes, because sometimes some physicians just not all the way for us. You know what I mean? And they're gonna try to keep you in the loop. They're like, oh, look at this HCl, look at this A1C. We want to put you on this. You know what I mean? This is so we don't fall for it. This is so we're not stuck in the loop forever. We can find out our own information, look at back at our own notes, create more of our own human manual, y'all, and proceed from there. Hey, Tiffany, you still in the room?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, y'all. You know what I mean? If you guys want to put some hands up, you got any questions for me or Tiff, let's go ahead and roll on some Q&A real quick, y'all. You know what I mean? If you got any other questions, any other thing you want to put in, so we can start to let's get more clear on these things. I gave you guys a couple notes. I'll be sending an email later on. I think I got my email in together. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all got y'all link in y'all email. I was able to click and get in. So yeah, definitely those notes will be coming out from me and myself and Tiffany both. All right. If y'all know how to raise them hands, we get into them hands. And it's on Lil E, man. What we got, Lil E, man?
Yeah, hello. What up, bro?
What's good?
Yeah, the young lady, what was that? She was saying something about getting your, I forgot what she said, she was saying you don't want nobody to get you something.
I was likely saying that you don't want nobody to get access of your birth chart.
Right, yeah, your birth chart. How do you get your birth chart?
Okay, so you want to actually go ahead on to astro.cafe, right? You get that information from your birth certificate. So what you do is you actually put your name, the time that you were born, where you were born, And then it's actually going to let you like understand in aspects like as to where the planets and how the planets correlate with your energy and how you can harness energy, how you can also harness the energy of those planets when everything is in retrograde, how you can actually like persevere. So here's a book that I purchased. Because I just have a thing where I don't want nobody to tell me about me. I want to know myself. So if this is gonna be my journey, right, I'm gonna learn. So this is the book that I purchased on Amazon. It was about 13 bucks. And honestly, like what I really do is I honestly just like read from there and I'll go from there, right? And I may gravitate towards certain people that speak about like planets, what your moon sign means, like how you actually can like take advantage of your moon sign, like with my moon sign being in Pisces, like what I'll have to do, you know, how to protect yourself. So it really just lets you know how to govern and guide your life, you know, like how to make decisions and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's going to actually give you all that information when you read into it. We're going to be sending you as well, like a link how you guys can track your chakras. And that's just going to let you know, like, okay, so my throat chakra is 100% open, or it's 89% open. So it's going to let you know the percentage that you're at and why it's at that point for you and how you can actually shape that.
Okay, I appreciate this one.
Not
Is that your website or that's just
no, it's not
another
my
one?
website, but it's a trusted website that I got from an astrologer. And honestly, when I go through like, you know, anything spiritual, I like to set the intentions, right? So today I want to learn a little bit about me. So, you know, God, I set the intentions that, you know, the information that I would like to know about myself, it comes to me, you know, because I don't want to just go to anyone and be like, hey, I'm so excited. I just pulled up my birth chart. I want to understand who I am. They're going to use you. They're going to take your money and they're going to leave you alone. Right. But when you go to God and be like, God, you know, like humbly, this is who I was. This is what I am. This is not, I see that I'm not this. So I want to know how I can get in depth with my birth chart and actually give me discernment. So when I'm reading everything throughout my birth chart, it just, I understand, it resonates with me. And then I understand how to move on and how to like let go and how to like harness that energy for real. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, with that Pluto and Scorpio, I had to like detach from materials. I had to detach from like way of thinking, as I told you guys earlier. I had to let go of a car. I had to let go of a lot of things because that energy can be so strong to the point where it'll still have a hold of you, no matter or regardless if that person is not around you anymore. So now you have to understand how to harness your energy, how to protect your energy, and how to also like, if somebody trying to try you, so this is what you do if somebody try to try you. So you'll stand up and you'll fold your arms. Folding your arms is securing in your own energy. When you got your arms open, they can just take from you, just leech from you. A lot of people do that, but they're not going to tell you. And a lot of people don't even know that they're doing it, 9 times out of 10.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And somebody had asked about the walnut allergy. I mean, it come to find out, you know what I mean, seeds will be an alternative. I mean, I am thinking about neurological health. So seeds, sunflower, and pumpkin seeds, family, for whoever did ask that. If y'all still
That
listening.
was me. That was me. It was Shang, of course.
Okay, bet.
But yeah,
we'll
I can eat almonds, and I love cashews. I love peanuts.
it's just walnut, huh?
It's no pistachios. I can't eat pistachios either.
Okay.
And I want to say I thought there was something else that made it seem like it was it's the same kind of family, I guess.
Yeah, it's like tree nuts. You know what I mean, I was thinking
Yeah.
about tree nuts, but you said you'd be doing you like almonds, you like cashews and more.
Yeah, so it's weird, but no, I can't. If I eat a pistachio, it literally like curls. My lips will itch crazily bad. Now I couldn't eat bananas for a while. I didn't realize when my ears would start itching that's an allergic reaction. So I just always thought it was weird. My ears would itch. But I'm cool eating a banana now. But the pistachio and the walnut, absolutely not. The itching is insatiable.
And then you're gonna find some alternatives that's gonna do the same job. Granola, seeds. I mean, stick with the nuts that you can. I mean, let's just stay away from what we can. Just come on, Kamisha. Come off mute right now. I gotta stop this. This is 2 hours. Long as
I just